Welcome to The Explainer. So right now, a massive structural earthquake is hitting the corporate tech world, and we're literally watching it happen in real time. Organizations everywhere are waking up to this kind of startling reality. The foundational software tools they've relied on for decades, they're just no longer the primary drivers of value. The very applications we use to run our businesses are rapidly becoming just background infrastructure. We're moving way past the era of software and entering an entirely new paradigm of corporate intelligence.
And this profound transition is masterfully detailed in the groundbreaking thesis we're exploring today, called The Agentic Shift. It's authored by Marcos Pereira. He's the visionary executive director, chief operating officer, and chief information officer of Snapiens. Actually, Marcos called this shift years ago, when a lot of people just dismissed it as an exaggeration. His insights over at Snapiens.ai basically form the complete foundation for everything we're unpacking for you today.
Okay, let's dive into this. Our roadmap today covers 1. The Agentic Shift. 2. Old SaaS versus new intelligence. 3. Real business cases. 4. The automation of chaos. 5. The corporate intelligence framework. And finally, 6. Strategic next steps. Section 1. The Agentic Shift. We're looking at how the 25-year-old seat-based pricing model of traditional software is absolutely breaking under the weight of AI.
To truly grasp why the enterprise landscape is shifting so aggressively, we have to look at the economic engine of the last 2 decades. For 25 years, traditional SaaS basically operated like a giant digital filing cabinet. It was completely passive. It just sat there waiting for a human to log in, manually input data, and then charge you for another seat license. But now, we're witnessing the rise of systems of intelligence. This new layer sits right above those old passive filing cabinets and acts autonomously. It doesn't wait around for human input, it acts directly on real-time context to actually deliver outcome value.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer scale of the change. Imagine a network of just 5 domain-specific digital agents. These 5 agents can now do the exact same invoice reconciliation workload that used to take 30 manual software operators. 30 to 5. That means companies no longer scale their costs linearly with personnel, which is exactly what's triggering these massive financial market adjustments right now.
Section 2. Real business cases. Let's move beyond the hype and look at actual operational velocity in the real world.
Let's pull this out of the abstract, right? What does this actually look like on a random Tuesday morning? Well, imagine a global shipping delay. In the old manual approach, you've got stressed logistics managers frantically logging into dozens of different portals, acting as the human glue just trying to copy data across endless browser tabs. But with an intelligent agent, the system autonomously detects a delay, calculates the financial penalties, updates the warehouse systems, and even drafts the client notification emails. The human brain goes from being the sole engine of integration to merely reviewing a dashboard and clicking a single approve button. It's a total game changer.
And hey, it's not just logistics. Look at a corporate legal department. Instead of having a fatigued junior associate burning the midnight oil to review procurement documents, an intelligent agent can analyze 500 contracts simultaneously. It flags liability anomalies and cross-references historical data in literal minutes. The big takeaway here, the real value isn't just the breathtaking speed. It's a level of flawless consistency that exhausted humans simply cannot match.
Section 3. The hidden traps, also known as the automation of chaos. We really need to pay attention here.
Because while those efficiency gains are amazing, deploying AI without the proper corporate infrastructure is a massive, massive trap. Executive teams absolutely must stop and answer 3 critical questions. What specific knowledge is the system utilizing? What is the absolute corporate source of truth? And crucially, who is legally and operationally governing the final outcomes?
And this brilliantly illustrates what happens when you don't have answers to those questions. Connecting a standard language model to your internal systems without business context just creates the automation of chaos. Your agents will start pulling from outdated manuals and forgotten policy folders. They'll execute conflicting actions. Before you know it, you're facing severe legal, audit, and financial risks because your tech is out there making binding commitments built on pure hallucinations.
Section 4. The corporate intelligence framework. Let's look at a structured blueprint for reliable intelligence.
So the crucial point is that to navigate these dangerous traps, leaders must stop buying random AI tools. You need a structured blueprint. Marcos Pereira and the team at Snapiens actually engineered a definitive corporate intelligence framework to solve this. It relies on 3 foundational elements: data architecture stabilization, complete operational traceability, and rigid access permissions. This is exactly how you turn unpredictable AI into a secure, auditable business asset.
First up is data architecture stabilization.
Autonomous systems are quite literally only as good as the verified, up-to-date data foundation they draw from. Companies absolutely must move away from isolated, siloed databases. You need to transition toward a unified, real-time architecture where all your product, legal, and operational knowledge is consolidated into one single, verified repository.
Second is complete operational traceability. Every single action taken by a digital agent must be documented. We are talking about generating permanent, immutable logs that detail exactly what data was reviewed, what logic was applied, and what final actions were taken. If you're in a highly regulated industry, like healthcare or finance, you require this exact traceability to prove to regulators exactly why a loan was denied or a medical claim was flagged.
Let's move to and see how this builds into our third pillar, rigid access permissions and guardrails. Just like a new employee isn't handed the keys to the master bank accounts on day one, autonomous agents need strict boundaries. You must define readable systems, outline writable platforms, mandate strict boundaries, and require explicit human approvals. This is all about keeping human operators firmly in control while allowing the technology to safely manage those background tasks.
Section 5. Strategic Next Steps. Let's talk about actioning this strategy immediately. So, as an executive, how do you action this today? Here is your rule of 3. Number 1, audit your current software expenditures to find where you're bleeding money on seat-based headcount. Number 2, centralize your corporate knowledge bases before you even think about deploying agents. And number 3, prioritize governance and security from day one. Seriously, avoid generic AI pitches. If a vendor cannot enforce data privacy or human-in-the-loop approvals, just walk away.
I want to leave you with this incredibly powerful, forward-looking summary from the source material. Software has become the foundational plumbing, while the true competitive advantage has moved to the layer of intelligence that directs it. The true value in technology has decisively moved away from the digital filing cabinet. The organizations that win tomorrow are the ones owning that intelligent engine today. Once again, fulfilling our final non-negotiable mandate here, this incredible framework we explored today is entirely based on the Agentic Shift. That's authored by Marcos Pereira, Executive Director, COO, and CIO of Snapiens. His intellectual contribution to everything we've just explored is huge, and it's an absolute must-read. Check out snapiens.ai to dive deeper. Which brings us to the ultimate question. Look closely at your current investments and ask yourself, are you building a true corporate intelligence layer, or are you just spending millions automating chaos? The choice is entirely yours. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.